Hey everybody, this is Doug out at Causey's Care. Just thought I would come out here as a brief introduction uh, for the YouTube channel that I'm planning on starting. I hadn't really even posted my first video, still trying to work on getting all that together. The reason I even started taking on this endeavor is because I did see a YouTube from Kevin Colby and actually Rob the Maritimer, and they were saying starting a video over 40 or YouTube over 40 is something everyone really should consider. And I didn't think much about it until I started thinking about the number of videos and YouTubes that I watch and learn from. They said that really everybody has a little something that they can say to pass on a little bit of knowledge. So I thought that initially one of the things that I would do would be just to discuss some of the things that I do around the farm. I've got quite a bit of woods land that between me and my son we do a lot of burning on, from the aspect that we're trying to enhance the wildlife that we have here, and by burning that does that because that reduces a lot of the understory, gets sunlight to the ground, and then it promotes grasses and forbs, which is what your wildlife like. And also it reduces some of the clutter that's under there, because if it gets too thick, wildlife tend to stay away from that. So that was one of the things that I thought that I would do. Looking forward to sharing that with you. And there's a few other things that I do all along, and we'll just see how things progress. We also do some regenerative type farming, where we do a lot of cover cropping on the cropland that we have, and we're trying to build the soil health back up so that we can let Mother Nature provide a lot of what she's there to provide. So we'll just see how it goes. I'd appreciate your comments. On this track, this was probably the third time that we've burned this. So we're knocking back the understory pretty good, the hardwoods. You can see right over there where the grasses and all are starting to come back in. The trees are coming out. There's one snag back there. So this is developing along pretty good. So I'll walk out here to the end. The reasons we do the burn is for the wildlife habitat, as well as to get the understory down, and that's why it's good for the wildlife habitat, because it allows the sunlight to get back down to the ground, and we can start getting grasses and forbs out here, which is real good for the turkeys and quail. They don't like a real thick understory, but they do like to have it so they can get through and go after the bugs that they feed on. And it's also good for deer as well. You can see right there on that tree that we've got the char on the bottom of the tree. That'll tell you about where the flame heights were when it came through. And this next tract adjacent right to it, this was a tract that I had surrounded with property I owned. So the lady called me and wanted to know if I just wanted to take it off her hands. So we got that done this year. And this was the first burn we had on this tract. The first burn is usually a little bit more difficult because it's thicker. you've got more duff because the duff hadn't had a fire to go across it. We wanted to get down the mineral soil, so we had a good burn over here as well. And you can see up there at the top where we had some of that scorch, where you see some of those brown pine needles. But all in all, we felt this was a good burn as well, especially for it being the first burn. And right here on the edge, you can see where I had my my fire break. I run through here with about a 5-foot tiller. I like to keep the fire breaks in, and we don't have to worry about trying to come back and wet it down so terribly much. And when the fire gets out to it, it usually just stops pretty good. So that works out real well. Some would say I may overdo that, but I'd rather overdo it than not do it enough. So when we do that first burn, since that was at the end of February, that's more of the dormant season type of burn. And that'll really do more of just a top kill. And a lot of these hardwoods and things may sucker back out at the bottom. And after we get a burn or two done, then hopefully we can come back here with more of a green burn, which is about this time of year. And then when that burn goes through there, then it'll not only top kill, but as those roots are trying to put the growth back up to the top, when it's sending the energy up, that fire will get down, and it'll also work on killing those roots out, so maybe we won't come back and have the suckering effect, and we'll get more of this understory down. And then that'll also allow for more of the grasses and the forbs to come back in. This had been thinned this year, or probably a year ago, because you really don't like to do the first burns when it's solid, especially with this being the loblolly pines, because you want to make sure that heat, when you're burning, that heat has somewhere to escape so that you won't get so much of the scorch. So again, even on this track, we feel like it was good and successful, because I think we had right at 100% coverage, which a lot of times you don't have that. So we felt good about this. And I'll get up here and turn this corner a little bit, and you can see another track on the other side, which is one that we were wanting to burn this year. We wanted to burn it a couple of weeks ago, but about the time we had everything planned out to do the burn, the state came through and put out a statewide burn ban. So that stopped us, but they just released that yesterday. And you can see we had a little bit of scorch up there as well. These lanes right here was where they came through and took out each row, about every fourth row. They didn't come back through here and do much cherry picking on this one. They did just a little bit. And the cherry picking is when they, go to each side and take out a few of the trees there. But we came through here and we sent a mulcher through here so that we could actually ride down with our side-by-side with the drip torch and light it up a little bit faster so that we can go ahead and get fire on the ground and get it out pretty quick, because even during the time that you're burning, the conditions can change on you. So the faster you can get it done, the better off where you are. And I like to keep it down into 10, no more than 20 acre tracts at one time, so that we can get it going and get it out. So if everything works out, we'll be burning this maybe next week, the week after. I have to keep a check on the conditions. Over here we've burned this one several times. I know at least 2 times. And you can see the char right there and the char there. So when it comes through now, we certainly won't have the char going up that high because the understory is down more. And this adjoining track, that's one that we burned last year, and we'll probably look at burning that next year as well. But you can see the difference in the understory with that one as opposed to this one. There's a little bit more understory over here, a little bit thicker growth. And so as we burn this, then we'll have these 2 areas as what they call the sequential patch burning, so that we won't have everything burned at one time. And that'll give you wildlife time to have something to go back and forth, and you won't have everything burned completely out. And if you can see back there, you can see there's one tree that the char went up pretty good on that one. So again, we won't have to worry about that happening again. We'll have char, but it won't be that much. And these pines can take that, and the pines actually thrive off of the fire as well. In a later video, I'll probably show you the long leaves, because when we burn that middle section that I was showing you, if we have time that same day and if things work out, we'll burn some long leaves. And I'll show you that a little bit later. All right, bye for now.